The great auk, scientifically known as Pinguinus impennis, flightless seabird extinct since 1844, and was a remarkable bird that belonged to the alcid family. Resembling a penguin in appearance, this bird was actually not closely related to them. The body of the great auk was approximately 75 centimeters 30 inches long. The wings, which were used in swimming underwater, were less than 15 centimeters long. The large black bill bore 8 or more transverse grooves. The bird stood erect on land. It had a black back and head, a white front, and a large white spot between the bill and eye. It was an excellent swimmer, using its short wings as flippers to navigate the cold waters of the North Atlantic. The great auk was primarily found on the rocky, isolated islands of the North Atlantic, such as Iceland, Greenland, and the Grand Banks of Newfoundland. These birds were not capable of flying long distances, but they were well adapted to life in the water. They spent the majority of their lives at sea, only coming ashore during the breeding season. Their diet consisted mainly of fish and other marine creatures. Unfortunately, the arrival of humans in the North Atlantic had devastating consequences for the great auk. These birds were hunted extensively for their feathers, eggs, and meat. Their inability to fly made them an easy target for hunters, and the great auk's docile nature further contributed to their decline. The demand for their feathers, which were highly valued in the millinery trade for fashionable hats, led to widespread exploitation. For centuries, the penguin-like birds were popular as meat and bait. Their fat, eggs, and feathers were sold as commercial goods. By the 1770s, overhunting threatened the species. Utterly defenseless, great auks were killed by rapacious hunters for food and bait, particularly during the early 1800s. Enormous numbers were captured, the birds often being driven up a plank and slaughtered on their way into the hold of a vessel. The last known specimens were killed in June 1844 at Eldey Island, Iceland. About 80 great auks and a like number of their eggs are preserved in museums. The nearest living relatives are the razor-billed auks, about 40 centimeters long. Museums and collectors took an avid interest in the great auk as its population declined. But overhunting and changes to the species' environment contributed to the species' extinction. Museums sought to preserve and display the mounted skins of great auks, not the auks themselves. As human activities intensified, the population of great auks plummeted rapidly. By the mid-19th century, the species faced the grim reality of extinction. The last known colony of great auks was discovered on the remote island of Eldey off the coast of Iceland. However, relentless hunting led to the tragic end of the species. The last 2 confirmed great auks were killed on June 3, 1844, marking the extinction of this remarkable bird. The great auk vanished from the world entirely when fishermen hunted down the last pair on the shores of Eldey Island off the coast of Iceland. The men spotted the mates in the distance and attacked, catching and killing the birds as they fled for safety. The female had been incubating an egg, but in the race to catch the adults, one of the fishermen crushed it with his boot, stamping out the species for good. The story of the great auk serves as a poignant reminder of the impact of human activities on wildlife. As we reflect on this tragic tale, it's crucial to draw parallels to current conservation efforts and consider how we can prevent similar fates for other species. Conservation initiatives and awareness play a vital role in protecting the incredible diversity of life on our planet. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the history of the great auk. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's continue to learn from the past and work towards a more sustainable and harmonious coexistence with the natural world. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating content, and until next time, stay curious.